Great road victory by our guys Saturday afternoon. I say this all the time. It's not easy on the road. Our guys took a business attitude walking into a place that they've always played us good, and as I said afterwards, a 3-1 football team. So a lot of really good plays on video, and really no time to celebrate. You talk about 48 hours and being able to try to celebrate some things and enjoy something. Just there was no time to enjoy it, and I didn't even talk about who the players of the game was, nothing, but I'll just share with you guys just so everybody's on the same page. I mean, just some of the big plays. Again, a lot of things we need to clean up. Big pass, TD pass to Jared Wayne, Pickett to Addison, 47 yards, big TD run, Pickett, scrambling versus man coverage, and then another big TD pass from Pickett to Gavin Bartholomew down the sideline. Defensively, sometimes you forget all the things that happened in this game, but, Patrician's interception again. Fourth and goal, stopped by Servassier Dennis, and Devin Danielson was outstanding on that one. Another fourth down stop, Judson Thailander, fumble recovery, Morgan and Hill. If we get a block, we get to the end zone. And some big sacks. I mean, Cam Bright had 2 big-time sacks, and Bengali came in and got a sack. And then when you look at Sam Scarton with 4 field goals, outstanding. 2 tackles inside the 20. I'll throw those out there, because there was one that we didn't tackle anybody on. Talk about consistency. And then, Chris Tadula putting that ball down inside the 5-yard line on an opportunity where, we hope we got points, but we decided to punt it. And when you do that, you hope to make some yards like that. So a lot of good things, a lot of things to clean up. I mean, we're not a perfect football team by any means. I'm not a perfect coach. We still always have stuff to work on, and we got a big challenge this weekend. But before getting to that, I want to clarify some words. I know EJ told me after the game while I was in the airplane that my comments after the game, took a little traction about Carson Van Lin, who is a super kid. Couldn't be a nicer kid in the world, always smiling, but want to apologize to him just, for what I said, and again, didn't mean to make anybody feel bad or any harm to him, but, I always say this in the coaching profession, it's intent versus impact, okay? My intent was not to make him feel bad or, he didn't do anything I wouldn't do, but I just, called it out, and I shouldn't have said a word, but so that's my fault. But the impact, sometimes you hurt people's feelings, or you get, people all up in arms. So I just wanted to address that before we move into Duke. Duke, Coach Brown, great football coach, really have, scored a ton of points as of late. Phil Longo is their offensive coordinator, Jay Bateman, defense coordinator. I mean, you look Thursday night, guys, you got 2 explosive offenses that are going to be at Heinz Field. And, you got 2 top 10 offenses that, with 2, unbelievable quarterbacks, with, everybody's got a slew of receivers. Their Downs kid and our Jordan Addison kid, I mean, those are going to be 2 matchups. I mean, I can't imagine people come from everywhere. I heard there's going to be 36 scouts going to be at the game. Obviously watching both ball clubs, so it's going to be a battle at Heinz. And, I always say it's going to come down to Bateman and Bates. And, Jay Bateman is their defense coordinator, and obviously Randy Bates is ours. So it's going to come down to who's going to play better defense on that day. So we got to step up and up to that challenge, because there's going to be two explosive offenses going at it. So, questions?
What went into Blake playing left guard?
He always plays guard.
I mean, starting and playing the whole game.
He was our lineman of the week, I might add. And again, we just kind of. Marcus Minor will be ready to go this week, I can promise you that. And he could have gone last week. We had him there, emergency only. So, again, if I didn't answer your question, you might think that Marcus maybe missed bed check or something, which he didn't. Okay, Marcus, that guy's like I take a bus full of Marcus Minor. So, just a little bit sore, and it was like, we're okay. And again, you give Blake Zabovic the start, and he went the distance. Gabe Hoy went down a little bit. It's like, hey, Marcus, get ready to go. You might not have the day off yet. So we're able to get him fresh, and he'll be ready to roll, and that's a good thing. Good strategy by Coach Borbley.
You got a lot of guys off their feet in the second half.
Not as much as you'd like.
I saw a lot of guys that did
Yeah.
the
Yeah. I mean, we were trying to purposely keep our guys fresh. I told you, we're going to get. I think I told you we're going to get P.J. O'Brien in there early, and you find out, hey, how's he going to react? That's what we need to find out. And our kids did a good job rebounding. I mean, there's some things that happen like that you want to find out what happens, how guys react. And he came back and, he blew that off. So he's got a short memory and made some other good plays. So, I mean, we did that at every position, just trying to get some guys to play. And, wasn't taking them lightly by any means. But, feel like we got some pretty good guys that and again, I felt bad the week before where we're playing Eric Hallett and Brandon Hill, every snap. I mean, there wasn't another safety that had played in the game. I'm like, we can't keep doing that. We're gonna hurt ourselves like we did against BC a couple, 2 years ago. So, or season ago. So that's kind of where we are there. So we're trying to get guys playing reps, but they got to earn them in practice as well.
You mentioned Gonzalez a few times about being right on that edge. This confidence level you have and what makes him good, what you like about him.
Matt's a intense kid. He's got a lot of enthusiasm. He's fired up. I mean, he'd love to go out there. He played a lot of football, and he missed one little thing inside. He laughs about it. Now, on a kind of a down block, different front. They actually messed the front up, so it was an unusual front. And he missed his block. It wasn't on the goal line, and coming out there. But he's just he's a competitor. I mean, that's what he is. He loves to play the game of football. He's athletic. He's tough, and he's smart. And again, like I said, he loves the game. You just love to coach again a bunch of those guys, for sure.
Sam Howell this year and how different of a quarterback he is from the guy you saw 2 years ago?
Obviously we didn't play him a year ago, and he's been great for 2 years. He's, I tell you, the thing you notice out of him is he looks like he's 235. He runs like a tailback. I mean, he is scrambling, and they got, what you didn't see it out in the last 2 years is his ability not only to scramble, but now they've got designated quarterback runs. Okay, so we prepared real hard for all their draws. I mean, they're going to run a lot of quarterback draw against us. Not as much, counter and power with him, but who knows? We've seen enough of that this year with other, athletic quarterbacks. But one thing I noticed about him, just the way he's dropping back and then running quarterback draws and scrambling and making plays with his feet. I mean, that's something that I did not see in the past that he has added to his game.
How difficult does it make for your linebackers and guys in coverage to deal with a quarterback like that appropriately?
It's a big deal. You're trying to cover downs, and you put too many guys, you put too many people in coverage. You got a problem with him. It's hard to rush 3 against this guy because he'll take off going like Kenny did last weekend, and it can be deadly. So you got to cover him. They're going to keep you honest. They're going to keep you honest with all the RPOs, and they're going to keep you honest with pass and draw. I mean, that's kind of their run, draw, action, pass stuff.
Have you seen a better quarterback this year?
I'll tell you after the game, but I'll go back and say that Van Dyke is going to be that guy's really, really good. Going back, I mean, Hooker's had a heck of a year. I think Heupel's done a great job coaching him. And again, I love the kid from Western Michigan. I know he hadn't done well against everybody else, or the record doesn't, but that guy was on fire against us. And like I said, people are going to come in and always play their better game against us at that level, and we certainly got his best game. But Sam Howell's a great quarterback. Ty Chandler, their tailback, is a stud. I haven't mentioned him yet. I mean, that guy transferred from Tennessee as well, but he is athletic. Man, he makes a lot of plays. He's jumping, hurdling people. He's a real deal. So we got Downs, Sam to worry about, and then obviously a tailback that's really athletic. Maybe the best tailback we've seen of the year.
Pat, you guys have stumbled out of the gates the last 2 weeks, being down in the first quarter. And when you look back, what have you attributed to the issues that have started and how you guys have had to adjust to them? And how important is it to not do that this week?
It's important, but we got to go out and play ball. I mean, the other guys are on scholarship. The other guys have game plans. You can watch tape all week, like we have, and all day Sunday, and you can watch tape. But they have different stuff they do, and you got to adjust to it and go, okay, they're doing this. There's set plays up off the plays and formations and all that. So the stuff you practice and you take that away, and all of a sudden you take that away, they got that. So there's all those things, but you end up running out of them. How many can you put in? And how many new things can you put in a short week? I mean, there's not a whole lot we're putting in. We're going to try to keep it simple, because we can't, we don't have the time to add a ton of offense, ton of defense. We're going to do what we do, try to do it better than they do, and then we've got to react, and we got to make adjustments on the sideline. That's what you do as a coach. I mean, it's not, if we don't make any adjustments, offensively or defensively. I mean, we come in offensively at halftime going, hey, these are the plays we need to get called in the third quarter, And you do the same thing on defense. Like, what are they doing? What do we need to do? But we do it every series defensively. I mean, we're Coach Partridge and Coach Collins and Coach Manlock are down on the sideline getting information from the press box. I mean, I would love to put a microphone in that huddle one day just so you can see what happens there. It's like, it's impressive.
What's their passing offense different without Daz, Lewis, and that kind of receiver? But I guess you mentioned Downs, kind of the season that you see in terms of what he brings.
Downs is like Jordan Addison. It's like we're defending the guy we see in practice every day. This guy is a special football player. Probably one of the reasons there's 36 scouts going to be here this week, GMs and all the rest of them. But he's a young kid that's just electric. He can slow and all of a sudden poof, like he's shot out of a cannon. He'll put you to sleep and then go. But Daz was awesome too. I mean, they've had 2 slot receivers, and 2 years ago, DeMar Hamlin goes down in cover 2 with a PI, if you recall. I don't know what we're up by 13, 14 points, whatever it was. He gets ejected, which was crazy. Okay, won't get into that one. But then Stalker goes in, and all of a sudden, Daz went to work. They attacked the weakness here. So Eric and our secondary have their hands full with all the receivers. They make plays.
You told us about a month ago about the 2 philosophies: you can attack or contain. I believe were the words.
Attack, kill mode, kill or capture.
How do you weigh the risk reward with a guy like Howell and the big plays that they can make?
I think you got to go get him. I mean, you got to go get him, and then if you miss, then the next wave of players got to go get him. But that you have to. If you don't go get him, he'll sit in the pocket all day, and pick you apart because he can make every throw on the field. You got to go get him. There's no other choice. And I'm not talking go get him with 10 guys. I'm talking, when you're in 4-man pressure, we're not going to sit there and say contain him, keep him in the pocket, let's squeeze it and see if we can get him in there. But you got to go, and then we have secondary contained players, in every defense. It's going to happen. We've had guys do that. The thing we got to do is the designated runs, the draws and stuff are the biggest concern because he can go and people bounce off of him. I mean, he's a load.
Pat, this week you guys had Rodney, I think, had 16 carries. Izzy had 10. Vince had, I think, 4.
Mm-hmm.
I saw in the depth chart for this week, it's still the same. Izzy and Vincent starters. Is Rodney close to getting one of those oars? And have you guys thought about, was this past week an indication of maybe a switch in how you guys have kind of used your running backs?
We haven't had that conversation. We're just trying to get a game plan together in a short. I told EJ to put an oar, so I'll blame him. All those guys are oar. EJ, come on, man. Rodney's a good player. Vince is a great player. Izzy's a great. We got 3 good ones back there, and it's all based on how they're going. Everybody's got a different motor on game day. If a guy just takes off, it's like, whoa, that guy's playing out of his mind. Let's keep feeding him. And Izzy was playing good. Rodney was going in there, and we liked the way he was running. And so we'll just play it by ear and keep playing the hot guy. So.
It seems like Rodney's taken on that closer role, and he's the guy you lean on when you're trying to ice the game in the fourth quarter. What allows him to be so good in that role?
He's just a good tailback. I don't care if it's closing or not. Again, we could have put Izzy in there, okay, because he does the same thing. We feel great with him doing it too, but it was like, we got a game here in 5 days. Let's cool it here, and this guy's good too. So it's just good. It's not like he's the closing tailback. Really, we feel like all 3 of them can, but the bigger backs are harder, a little harder runners. I mean, Vince is so good in protection and catching the ball in the backfield and all that stuff. So they all have different things they do well.
You mentioned the 36 scouts. Do you think that impacts the way that potential draft prospects play in the game, for better or for worse?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, I think I don't mention that to the kids. I say that to you guys, but they know people are watching. Okay, and then the other thing is this thing called the eye in the sky. It's called a camera. They got the camera, but I think it's interesting for some of those guys to come to games and watch and say, just see it live. I mean, we go to games, we want to see a guy play live. I can watch the videotape, that high school videotape, but when you get to see him up close and watch him compete, and just there's when the camera turns away, you don't see all the in between stuff. You don't see how he's acting on the sideline. So there's all those. Scouts are looking. They want to know, after the series over, is your quarterback talking to the receivers? Is he, looking up in the stands, signing autographs. What's he doing? I mean, they want to see all that. Who is he? Not only as a football player, but as a person. I mean, everything's on display when people are at the game. Whether it's ESPN people, GMs, it doesn't matter. I mean, the microscope is on all of our kids.
When you were watching the kicking competition at camp, you envisioned it to turn out the way it did, and what has Sam done to really build the team each week?
It's birthday boy, but he's just kicked. What's he done to keep it, and is he putting it through the upright? Is it pretty all the time? No. You kind of look and you go, goes through those two uprights. I don't care how it gets there. I'm proud of the way he's played. He's been money on game day. He's just calm and cool, and that's what you need at that position. He's been really good, and he's only going to keep getting better. He's a young kid, I've been impressed. No, but I didn't see it. You don't know what it's going to go like. And again, we're always going to play the best players. He's a guy that was walk on here, and he beat out a guy on scholarship. It doesn't matter, and I think it's a good message for all our kids. I don't care, who the starter is. It's just we're going to play the best player, the guy that we trust on game day to go out and do it. And it comes down to, do you do it? It's not about, hey, you're on scholarship, so I got to play this guy. It doesn't matter. I think that's one thing. It does show a lot of kids that.
I know you guys got a short week, and it was right after a big game traveling. But did you get any chance to Sunday to watch Jimmy Morrissey get his first start?
Are you kidding me? No, I did not at all. Zero. I might catch a little of that Steeler game tonight. I can tell you that. Monday Night Football in Pittsburgh, but no, it was the worst Sunday ever. Just so you know, it's like a miserable Sunday. This is not fun. And our coaches are, after today we've caught up. But I mean, we've practiced twice already, just so we're on the same page. Tomorrow's perfect Thursday. It's only Tuesday, just so we're on the same page. So it's, our kids have done a great job. They've been mature, and we got a strategy that we're using, and we hope it works out for Thursday. And I think we got a better plan than we had back in 2015 when we played one of these Thursday night games, and so we'll see how that goes.
A better plan? What's the better plan?
I can't tell you, Jerry. Secrets.
Since you mentioned about Sundays being practically miserable, it was like a Tuesday practice. Were you able to be just as intense on Sunday, day after game, as you would have been on a Tuesday?
When you say intense, what do you think? I come in here yelling and screaming, or what? What do you mean?
I'm talking about how is it different from a normal Tuesday?
It was different because it was a Sunday and a Tuesday combined. Okay, and the thing people don't realize, they think we just go out and play football and put the ball out there, spot it, and let's go. But Sunday, first of all, I like to get the 7:30 mass. I didn't get the mass. Okay, so that's the first bad part of the day because we were in the office before that, and it's just you're trying to close, the chapter on Duke, and at the same time you have to be game planned and ready. I mean, usually for a Tuesday practice, we have half the day on Sunday and all day Monday to prepare. Okay? And then you wake up Tuesday morning, you got your cards ready to go, offense, defense, special teams, here we go, let's put it together. Sunday, we had to close the book on Dukes, make the corrections on special teams, offense, defense, and then we had to, flip it around and get all on, as coaches, because you weren't spending time on North Carolina before you could. You had to focus on Duke, good Duke football team, and so it's just like it's cramming. You're cramming it in, and last night was a late night because you got to we had practice yesterday. Last night at 7:30, okay, game time, and then you had to whip around tomorrow. Last night is now get ready for all your Wednesday stuff that you're going to do because we had to have everything planned. So this morning we could go out and do what we need to do. So that's no fun.
In some back and forth kind of offensive games so far this season, when you see a score like 58 to 55 in North Carolina and make this weekend and you watch it on film, as a defensive guy, how does 58-55 sit?
That's not good. That's not as a defensive guy. That's no fun. They need to slow the tempo down. They need to cut the quarters in half. I don't know. Maybe go 12-minute quarters this weekend. Just take it easy on them. But 58-55, and it's chaos. So it's what it's world we're in, and get two explosive offenses. And again, we got two more explosive offenses this week. I don't know where Wake is. Haven't really studied them. I've seen them on tape and know how deadly Hartman is, but I have not. I don't know where they're ranked in the country, but but I know we got 2 top 10 teams this week.
Kind of like 76-61, right?
What's that?
It was kind of like 76-61,
What was that?
Syracuse game.
That one don't count. That was 119 plays.
Sorry, Joe.
No, it's fine. I on that like 58, 55, that kind of stuff. Knowing that North Carolina can score is it nice knowing that hey, you got the high scoring offense in the country, and a guy like Kenny Pickett. It's the way.
Yeah, it's nice, but I don't want to see that many points put up. But I like that. Whatever happened to 14-3? I mean, are those days gone, Jerry? I mean, they're gone. They're gone everywhere. I mean, you see it all over the country. So, again, we're just focused on being as good as we can be on defense, and that's gonna be key.